Very good evening to all of you. You're watching the Urban Debate with me, Arfida Rahman Ali. We are going to talk about civic apathy again because this is one channel that never fails to put your issues on the forefront. There's been criminal neglect once again that has cost human lives. And this time, it's the new Chief Minister's constituency that's riddled with potholes. It has cost us the life of a young man who was the sole breadwinner of his family. Another young resident crushed to death in Thane. Is road safety a luxury for the residents of the state? Demanding accountability from our netas over issues of civic apathy is something that Mirror Now has been consistently doing every monsoon. We bring to your notice these issues that affect you and your day-to-day lives. Deaths due to potholes on the streets of Mumbai and its surrounding areas is something that has become a pattern. Can we allow this to continue? It clearly looks like for the netas, people do not matter. Power game is what they are here for. And that is why we continue to question. We show you those pictures there on your screens of what happened on Tuesday morning. And of course, that particular spot continues to be there as an accident-prone pothole area in Thane, which happens to be the constituency of Chief Minister Eknath Shinde. On 30th of June, remember, Eknath Shinde became the CM of Maharashtra. On the 1st of July, the Thane Municipal Authority has jumped into action, fixed the pothole-laden roads in front of the Chief Minister's residence. On the 5th of July, yesterday, a man came under the wheels of a state bus after his bike lost control in a pothole in Thane. The victim has been identified as 37-year-old Monish. His bike hit the pothole, like I mentioned, causing him to fall, and he was immediately run over by a state MCRTC bus. While the accused has been booked in this case, what is appalling here is the behavior of the netas. In every pothole-related death incident that we have reported so far, it is either the corruption or the negligence of civic officials that has claimed these lives. Tonight, let's try and understand what can be done to fix this situation. Is there any hope at all, since the pattern repeats itself every single year? Let me introduce my guest this evening. And before that, let me first play out the important inputs that we have on the story. Let's listen in to the citizenry.
I'm standing on the Kajupada road where yesterday night accident took place and one person died because of the potholes. I really want to show you the pothole. This is the pothole, is not yet repaired. It's been more than 13 to 14 hours and the potholes is not yet repaired. I really want to show you the other side of the road as well. See the condition of the road. The road's condition is so bad that it is very, very difficult to drive a vehicle. The buses who drive from here, and apart from that, there are vehicles. The bike also rides from here, so it is very difficult. And this is a road which connects to Mumbai and which connects to Thane as well. And because of that, the road is very, very important for the people who work over here. So those are the Mumbaikar and the Thanekar, those are paying taxes, and still they are not getting the basic facilities from the municipal corporation. I really want to show you this. See this pothole. I'll go inside. This pothole is so down deep. Just check it out. This pothole is so deep that the major accident took a place and the pothole is not yet repaired.
मी देखील वाचला खड्ड्यामध्ये माझी देखील बाईक पडली माझा हेल्मेट वगैरे गेला आणि मला पण थोडा काठी लागला की माझा हेल्मेट काढ प्लीज जरा एक खड्डे दुरुस्ती करा आणि लोकांचा जीव वाचवा
गिरकर मौत हो गई बाइक से जा रहा था। कहां पर? थाने में।
मैंने उसके बारे में मैंने सभी यंत्रणाओं को सूचित किया है कि गड्ढे में गिरकर एक्सीडेंट होकर किसकी मौत होना ये हमारे लिए अच्छी बात नहीं है और सभी लोगों को मैंने सूचित किया है कि दोबारा ऐसी घटना ना हो, इसकी पूरी खबरदारी लो।
Let me introduce our guest this evening. Joining us here on the Urban Debate, Aarti Sathe, spokesperson of Maharashtra BJP, Varun Singh, political analyst, Saurav Kumar, director of Pothole, Raj Punj, leader of Shiv Sena, and also Dr. Raju Waghmare, who will be joining us shortly as well, the Congress spokesperson. Very warm welcome to all of you. Thanks for joining me here on the program. राज पुंज जी, आपसे शुरू करते हैं। ये जो अभी हम दृश्य देख रहे हैं हमारे सामने, ऐसा लगता है कि ह्यूमन लाइफ की कोई वैल्यू बची नहीं है। क्या आप चाहते हैं कि नॉर्मलाइज हो जाए, लोग पॉटहोल में जो है बैलेंस लूज करके इसी तरह से मरते रहे? कुछ चेंज, साल दर साल वही कहानी हम सुना रहे हैं। इट डजंट शेक द कॉन्शियंस ऑफ द इलेक्टेड लीडरशिप।
डेफिनेटली देखिए, जिस प्रकार से मतलब ये नजर आ रहा है, और इस प्रकार से एक मोहसिन खान जो 37 वर्षीय इलेक्ट्रिशियन थे जिनकी मृत्यु हुई है, और ऐसी जो घटनाएं होती हैं बिल्कुल बहुत ही दुखद हैं और उनके परिवार के प्रति सहानुभूति है। लेकिन इस प्रकार की जो चीजें हैं, देखिए अब हमेशा रिपेयर होती हैं चीजें, उसके बाद आप देखते हैं मुंबई सबसे ज्यादा, वहां पे बारिश ज्यादा होती है। अभी भी आपको मालूम है 2 दिन का रेड अलर्ट दे रखा है, तो 6 to 8 में भी रेड अलर्ट है इसका। और रेड अलर्ट में आप देख रहे हैं पहले येलो था, फिर ऑरेंज, इस प्रकार से जिस प्रकार से रेड अलर्ट
आपका कहने का मतलब क्या है? आई एम सॉरी, आई एम इंटरप्टिंग यू। आप क्या कहना चाह रहे हैं? लोग काम के लिए नहीं जाए, लोग अपना जो डे टू डे जो व्यापार है वो ना करे, घर बैठे, ऑरेंज या रेड अलर्ट है तो?
नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है, ऐसा नहीं है, ऐसा नहीं है। रोड देखिए, रोड बनती है और इस प्रकार से पानी जिस प्रकार से आता है या इस प्रकार से डैमेज होते हैं, डेफिनेटली इसमें सरकार को काम करना जरूरी होता है और इसके एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के साथ मिलकर इसको पूरे को ठीक किया जाए, इसमें कोई दो राय नहीं है। और ऐसी दुर्घटनाएं होनी भी नहीं चाहिए, उसके लिए बिल्कुल शर्मसार है पूरा देश इस बारे में। अगर कोई भी, अगर आज किसी के साथ,
आपको पता है राजपुर जी, ये जो स्पॉट है ना, ये अभी भी वैसे ही है। मतलब कि वो जो एक्सीडेंट हुआ उसके बाद एक और इंसिडेंट ऐसा हुआ जो इट वाज अ नैरो एस्केप फॉर अनदर बाइकर, which means that tomorrow, God forbid, we might be reporting another incident. No action even now when we've been relentlessly screaming our lungs out over this issue. There seems to be no action. We heard some lip service from the Chief Minister. I'm afraid that's not enough, Raj Punj ji. आपके जो leadership है, अभी जो CM बने, उन्हीं के constituency में ये हुआ है।
CM बने हैं और शिवसेना के जो हमारी मेयर हैं अपना किशोरी पाडनेकर जी, वो भी इसमें संज्ञान लिया है और एडिशनल कमिश्नर को भी प्रोजेक्ट पे जो है उनको भी इसमें, जहां तक मेरे को नॉलेज में आया है, उनको भी इसमें डायरेक्शन दी गई है। और इसमें काम बिल्कुल जिस प्रकार से पानी का कुछ रुकेगा, क्योंकि आप देख रहे हैं अगर पानी बार बार बरसता रहेगा तो बड़ा इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट कि उसको बार रीड्रेसिंग करा जाए, उसको जो ब्लैक कारपेट है तो
रीड्रेसिंग करा जाए, ये काफी नहीं है सर। आई एम सॉरी। एंड इसी से पता लगता है कि किस तरह के काम होते हैं। लिपापोटी, इट्स जस्ट अ कॉस्मेटिक थिंग इज डन, इजंट इट? आप मानते हैं कि एवरी मॉनसून जो ये पॉटहोल रीसर्फेस करते हैं, क्यों करते हैं? क्योंकि एक कॉस्मेटिकली इसको फिक्स किया जाता है। The roads are not being fixed. The potholes are simply filled only until the next shower of rains washes away that filling. That is the reality, isn't it?
Just one thing more, the Kundalika river has crossed the warning level. आपको ये भी पता होगा कि वो रिवर भी अपना लेवल क्रॉस कर चुका है, बिकॉज ये चीजें भी मैटर कर रही हैं। आप जिस तरह से पानी का आप देख रहे हैं, इस ज्यादा
मैं आपको बेसिक रोड सेफ्टी के बारे में पूछ रही हूँ आरती साथे। दिस इज अबाउट समथिंग एज बेसिक for the commuters, that when we step out, none of us can be sure whether we are going to reach our destination in one piece anymore if this continues. Do you agree, Aarti Sathe?
It's very unfortunate, this incident which has happened today or yesterday in Thane, and really condolences to the family. And I know that we've been talking about this for years together, and it's sad that we have to revisit this over and over again. And because we have to constantly revisit it, I think the BJP, which played the role of a watchdog in the BMC for the last so many years, and we hope to not play the watchdog anymore and really bring about reforms, was the first really to bring to light the issue of blacklisted contractors who were given contracts, the way the bidding process took place for these road buildings and the road construction work. And that is the reason why that blacklisted contractors are consistently and repeatedly given this road work, that we are facing this situation for years together. In fact, this has been the first rain of the season, first torrential rain of the season, and we are seeing this kind of situation which has arisen. So I think it's rather unfortunate. What really needs to be done is a complete cleanup of the system. The cleanup of the system will happen when the contractors who have been blacklisted, they don't get repeated over and over again. The cleanup will happen when there is accountability, and the cleanup will also happen when really we have ministers and we have people who, are accountable and answerable to the people. Today, the Chief Minister has made it clear that this cannot be repeated. Even whatever the woes of the people are, they should be attended to 24/7. And I think the Shiv Sena in its earlier avatar has really failed, has completely failed in delivering. And that is why
And you believe
we
the
are
Shiv
faced with
Sena
this.
in their new avatar will make changes? Are you aware, ma'am, that Mr. Shinde was the Urban Development Minister, he was the Thane Guardian Minister? What will change? What can change? The same man returns now as the
I don't
CM.
want to get down
sure
that
enough,
path to say
sure enough,
why,
ma'am, the
what
roads
were
were
the
fixed.
reasons-
The roads leading
what
to
were
his
the
house were
reasons
fixed.
Why this whole
The roads that the
situation
common
arose.
man uses are
I
left
agree. I'm
to
not
its
saying-
plight. But the
No,
road that
let's
leads to
be
the
frank.
CM's residence was fixed overnight.
Why
So
this
I don't
situation
know
arose.
how
We
this
know
new Shiv
that
Sena,
unholy
the previous
alliance which they
avatar
were in the
didn't do
state,
anything. The new avatar
which
with the same people will change things.
They were in an unnatural alliance at that point of time.
Okay, so the alliance is to be blamed.
The way things were administered at that point of time is for everybody to see. The mandate in 2019, what was there? The mandate has not been honored, and that's why we are repeatedly seeing this plight. Today, this mandate will deliver.
And that is the tragedy of the situation, that you go back to the issue of alliances.
We're not taking away the fact. We're not taking away the fact that responsibility lies with the government, and we will discharge
exactly.
it. But
please take responsibility for this. Now it's a Shiv Sena BJP government, and the Shiv Sena BJP government must be ready to answer the question of the citizens. How soon can we expect a statement saying there will be no more pothole-related deaths, rain-induced deaths, at least not because of poor civic amenities? Raju Waghmare, please go ahead. What Ms. Aarti Sathe is saying is that the previous unholy alliance did not do their jobs, and therefore you have this situation.
I think Ms. Aarti Sathe must be talking in La La Land. She forgot last 25 years in Mumbai, BJP is hand in gloves with Shiv Sena, and in Mumbai the pothole situation, and every year the road and the water logging situation was the same. So BJP never been a watchdog. They was in a partner in a crime with Shiv Sena last 25 years in Mumbai. So don't play Ms. Aarti Sathe or BJP that we are the best people and we were just looking into that. They are the people who bring this blacklisted contractor, unless and until, along with the contractor, the BMC staff or the BMC officers, if they will not get punished, they will not get arrested, this thing is not going to stop. This thing is going to be there every year. We are sick and tired of this, because these potholes are being, it's changed. It's like an ATM to all these contractors as well as the alliance BJP Shiv Sena. It's become a ATM machines, because every day, every year, the same potholes, the same contractor, the same machinery and the same money they are spending on it, and the people come here and they give big talks like, oh, we are the watchdog, alliance is not good, and all those things. These people...
Let me tell you what is the actual unholy alliance. The actual unholy alliance is between the contractors, the businessmen, the politicians. The Neta-contractor nexus. That is the unholy alliance, isn't it? And it simply doesn't help to hear this lip service. It simply doesn't help to suspend 4 civic engineers. Last time around, Mr. Shinde had suspended 4 civic engineers in Thane for the shoddy job. Nothing has changed ever since. Varun Singh, your thoughts on what you see in front of you. Which unholy alliance would you blame for this kind of facilities that the taxpayers are getting in Maharashtra?
Let me tell you, Mr. Raju Waghmare and everyone sitting over here, a simple thing how the BMC or the TMC works. There's a standing committee that passes most of its files, may it be road contract or anything. And over there, you even have the leaders from the Congress. Leader of opposition for a very long time has been...
Please, let's hear out Mr. Singh.
Yeah,
yes,
let him speak.
for a very long time, opposition at Thane Municipal Corporation as well as over here in BMC has been either from the NCP in Thane or from the Congress over here. And they have been so very much part of it. So, let Mr. Raju Waghmare not go away as a clean person of Congress that they do not have any role to play. As rightly pointed out, the pothole menace in Mumbai has, and especially in Thane, because I come from that area in Kalyan, which is part of Thane district, we suffer a lot. For me, going home in the night using the same road is nothing but a nightmare, especially during monsoon. But let me tell you a small thing, Arfida. In the last few years, especially till 2019, I saw most of the roads over there have been concretized. And with concretization of the roads, I have seen the number of potholes reducing. Though there are many roads which need to be developed, there are many roads, and more than the politicians, I would like to bring the point over here that bureaucracy is failing, and the politicians will be failing in, reining them. The bureaucracy is responsible for handling roads. We do not, we forget that a road like this, mostly the bureaucrats award the contracts. Yes, politicians do have a role, but it's the bureaucracy comes out with a tender. The bureaucracy allows a road contractor to go and do it. They are the one who inspect it, and after they give a certificate that yes, the road has been constructed properly, the rest of the money is released. The bureaucracy over here goes there is no questioning to the bureaucracy. We do not even bother to ask the IAS lobby over here or the MPSC lobby who go over there and sit as deputy secretaries or commissioners, that why are they failing? Most of the time, and especially I'm very happy to see that the CM at least within less than 24 hours has at least said something. Before that, we would not even get to hear most of the times on potholes and all these. Many would say, pothole to hote rehta hai, as Raj Punj rightly echoed the same sentiment that used to be earlier there. It is 1 week of his time. Let's see what he does. No one is stopping anyone to hold him by his collar for asking questions like, why potholes are still there. And I hope that the Thane Municipal Corporation, if this road falls under their jurisdiction, they should have fixed it by now. If it is not done, then it is a big question that in spite of the CM ordering that the road has to be fixed, and if it falls under TMC, it hasn't been fixed yet, then whichever authority, it is high time the CM also shows some action and takes these officers at task why the pothole isn't filled yet. And as the rains are continuously pouring in, I am sure, as I have covered civic beat over here, I know it becomes difficult to fill a pothole when it is raining.
We have heard all of those excuses.
Impossible.
Varun Singh ji, we have heard the fact that, these things cannot be fixed while there is a downpour. We have heard that, the inclement weather makes it impossible to rule out these kind of things where roads get damaged. We have heard that. But what my concern is, the pattern that is setting in with the kind of criminal neglect that we are seeing, like you mentioned also in the bureaucracy, by the contractors, that nexus, that must be fixed, isn't it? Is what I'm trying to say also is that just about a week ago, we had an incident where the wife of an ex-mayor actually broke down in one of our programs, talking about how her husband would have been alive if the government did its job. Aarti Sathe, you wanted to come in. Go ahead.
No, I wanted to come in response to what Mr. Waghmare was saying, that, I'm probably staying in La La Land, or I am, ignorant about the fact of the roads. I'm a Mumbaikar, born and bred here, traveling every day to my work as a lawyer to courts. And, so it's not like I stay in La La Land and I'm staying in some ivory tower. I'm equally aware of the woes of the common people. I'm aware of, like Mr. Singh pointed out, that when a contract is given or a bidding process takes place, that happens through a standing committee wherein all the parties are involved. So it's not a question that one party cannot take a stand. If you all had a problem, you all could have really raised it at that point of time, or you all are equally aware of what goes on. And to say that BJP is hands in glove, it's an allegation. It's an allegation non-supported by anything. So don't make such allegations on national TV against a responsible party, against the government. The other thing I really wanted to now point out is that the entire bidding process has been quite faulty. The road work really started only very recently. A lot of stuff has not even happened. Even places where pumping stations had to be installed, even in Bombay, for the excess water to be removed, has not taken place. Even today at Worli Sea Face, where it normally never gets flooded, was flooded today when I was myself going to work. So there has been a lot of negligence which has been shown. We are pointing out the negligence. If there is a responsibility which we need to take, we will take that responsibility. Ultimately, it is for the good of the people we have to work. We are not shying away from something which has gone wrong. If it needs to be fixed, we'll fix it. But what is wrong has to be pointed out without unnecessary allegations.
Not getting into the political slanging match, Mr. Raju Waghmare, I know you want to come in. I'll just quickly also point out here, because it's important to say this, that here is a man just 37 years old who died on the roads of Thane. The fact is that he was, of course, the sole breadwinner for his family. And I just want to say this, that it's not about reducing somebody to a statistic. A family is shattered. And the important thing here is that this was a stretch that could have been fixed if it was not about selectively doing stuff for the netas. You know, that is where what we are angry about. That roads were fixed in Thane, but only that road where the neta is supposed to travel. That is what infuriates citizens, as if taxpayers don't matter, citizens don't matter. Raju Waghmare, please go ahead.
See, the neta road and the neta where he stays and the road goes to his house and where he came from, all these VIP roads has been doing by the BMC or TMC all the time. The fact is, what I pointed out, that in TMC or BMC, the BJP and Shiv Sena was together last 25 years. We are watching these things. Every year it is happening. And what they was talking about in standing committee, the majority of the committee and the people who are governing the BMC or TMC, they take the responsibility and they have the more share into that the contract has given to whom. No matter what opposition leader says, no matter what Congress says in opposition, it goes to the only people who are in power. So they cannot shy away or they cannot run away from this BJP. And they said that it is a on national TV, it is only allegation. It is not allegation. Listen to me. Listen to me.
Yes, I will allow you. I will allow you, Varun Singh. I will allow you. Quickly finish, Dr. Waghmare. Quickly finish.
So I just wanted to say that. So don't pass the buck. It is responsibility BJP must have taken and the Shiv Sena must have taken. And what I'm trying to say that I told you before, the bureaucrats, the contractor, they have to be punished criminally on this kind of roads. And whoever is doing the roads, their people has to be standby 24/7 on those roads. And that money they can include in a contract, but these people have to be there 24/7. Some people, some party with some strength of equipments and the material. So anywhere there is a pothole is there, they can fix 24/7. Unless and until if we cannot put this kind of system, it is not going to be stopped.
Okay, I will allow you, Varun Singh, to respond, but let me have Saurav Kumar also join the conversation. He's director of Pothole. Raja is working in this area for a long time. Saurav Kumar, where exactly is the issue? Is it really bureaucracy? Is it the opaque kind of system that exists when it comes to honoring contracts? Those contractors are doing this shoddy job. Who do you hold responsible?
I've been hearing a lot of conversation that has happened. One thing is that the quality of work. I mean, monsoon was blamed at point of time, right?
Yes.
If you ask me, we have been fixing potholes even in monsoon. So there is nothing like technology doesn't exist. We have showcased it over a period of time that even during monsoon potholes can be fixed. So it is not a job which can't be done. And one of the other thing was concretization of road in Mumbai. Yeah, I also do agree with that the kind of problem that Bombay faces, concrete roads are the only solution. And even in that, the lot of money that can be saved when it comes to concrete. I mean, if you can see, I'm actually at a shed. I'm doing a research right now with the what can be the best solution for roads. Cities like Bombay, cities like Bangalore, wherein a lot of rain happens, and it's always being blamed on the rain rather than solving the issue with a better technology, right? If you can see in my background, there are some mats. This we have made from recycled plastic. We are, innovation has gone to that level wherein rain cannot play a, stop to the development process, specifically when it comes to, road construction and people dying because of potholes. I completely disagree with the fact that, this can't be done during monsoon. There has to be a lot of conscience and ability to take up new technology. As you were rightly saying, it has to be an annual maintenance contract kind of model that a pothole appears, a citizen reports, it needs to be addressed within 24 to 48 hours. That's how Mumbai roads, and in fact, for a matter of fact, any road in the entire country can be, made pothole free.
Saurav, in
sorry
any
to say,
other
but
city, in any other part of the world, this would have actually led to a lawsuit, isn't it? I mean, the local municipal administration would not be able to get away with something like this. What happens when a citizen dies? That would have invited, I am very sure of it, a major lawsuit for compensation. But here, nothing moves even in that respect. Is that also a concern, Saurav?
I would, somewhere it's true. I wouldn't deny that as well. That things needs to move faster in our country as well. Things over here work very slow, and that's where new model, new technology also takes a lot of time to be accepted by the authorities, by the government at large. This definitely needs to be corrected at some stage. If not now, then when? I mean, people are losing lives on a daily basis. Now the monsoon has hit; it will hit the entire country, and this is not just Mumbai. By the way, you'll hear these kind of stories from each and every city.
Yes, in each and every city, and the bikers are most vulnerable because, if you're in a car, you still have some sort of protection, but in a bike, in a cycle, you're fully exposed. And here is a law-abiding citizen. He was wearing a helmet. And think about the number of times the government announces penalties for those who don't wear helmets. But for those who wear helmets as well, your facilities are such that a road can turn fatal for a resident. Yes.
By the way, one more point I wanted to add. I heard that the truck driver was held accountable for rash driving. I mean, if we actually think logically, the driver was also not at fault.
Yes.
If somebody abruptly falls in front of his car or a truck, holding somebody who is driving a bigger vehicle is another.
And I can say this from my experience. Sorry, interrupting you there, but I need to say this because as somebody who drives on Mumbai roads, what happens typically is if you bump into a pothole, maybe you realize the last moment that there's a pothole there, you try to navigate around it. That last minute swirling around a pothole is also risky. If you bump into it, slow down suddenly, you can be bumped from behind. I'm talking about somebody who drives through these potholes to get to work, and therefore I know how risky it is. And therefore, it's important to send out this message that road safety is basic, isn't it? It's basic, isn't it, for a taxpayer? Is it a luxury that we are asking for over here? Aarti Sathe?
Very true.
Not at all. I don't think it's a luxury that a taxpayer is asking for good roads. I think that's a right of a taxpayer to ask for good roads. And it is a right, or it is something which the government who's in power, who's answerable to it. So like I said, in the beginning itself, or right in my second question, that if the responsibility needs to be taken, we are very open to take that responsibility. But at the same time, the people who have been in power, or the people who have really controlled the BMC for the last so many years, or who have been in charge, or like Mr. Singh was pointing out that for the last 2 years, who was the PWD minister, if those are the people, or the bureaucracy needs to be taken to task, then everybody definitely needs to be taken to task. But coming to your question that whether the taxpayer needs good roads, yes, they have to get good roads. They have a right to get good roads. And definitely we will be working towards giving them A-class roads. In fact, the center, when Mr. Nitin Gadkari, Honorable Minister, is in charge of the entire transportation system, we have built an excellent network of roads all over India. We hope to, replicate that model even in Bombay. I know this is a recurring problem, and we will be addressing those issues shortly. Of course, we are looking at BMC elections very soon, and hopefully we are in a position to look at these problems more effectively, not only as a watchdog, but as people who will really take into consideration the woes of the common man and the citizens.
Raj Punj ji, what do you have to say on this? आपका क्या कहना रहेगा? BMC election के time वोट मांगने तो आ जाएंगे जो नेता है अभी. In fact, there is so much of buzz already. There is a lot of movement and preparation, not for saving lives or giving the facilities, but for BMC elections. That must be the highest priority, isn't it?
बिल्कुल. देखिए, इस समय किसी को
बिल्कुल, you agree that is the priority. You agree?
No, blame.
Not the
blame
citizen.
होना ही नहीं चाहिए कि हम किसी को ब्लेम करें कि उसकी वजह से हुआ, इसकी वजह से. डेफिनेटली इसके ऊपर जो भी जिसने भी ये गलती करी है, either is a contractor, either is a whatever, जो भी एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन में जो भी होगा, जिसके ऊपर भी होगा, डेफिनेटली उसके ऊपर कोई ना कोई कार्रवाई जरूर होगी और एक्शन जरूर लिया जाएगा और लिया जाना चाहिए. लेकिन फर्स्ट इसमें जो भी इसमें रिपेयर का है वो सबसे बड़ा इशू है. उसके बाद है कि वो इलेक्शन होगा, इलेक्शन में क्या होगा नहीं होगा वो बात की बात है. आई एम नॉट.
तो सारे नेता आपके अभी फिलहाल इलेक्शन की तैयारी में लगे हैं. उनको परवाह है कि आज एक रेजिडेंट मर गए थाने में, उनको परवाह है उनका कुछ भी असर? आई अंडरस्टैंड द सीएम मेड अ स्टेटमेंट, but the fact is it doesn't seem like any conscience has been shaken by this. Why would it happen with such an alarming regularity?
Every lives matter. बिल्कुल, हर जिंदगी की अपनी एक कीमत है और होनी चाहिए और इसके ऊपर परवाह भी होनी चाहिए. और जो भी इसके अंदर पनिशमेंट जो भी हैं, जो लोग हैं जिनको इसमें पनिशमेंट मिलनी चाहिए उनको देना चाहिए. कोई भी हो, मैं इसके ऊपर बिल्कुल नहीं कहता. और टैक्स पेयर है, आप और हम भी टैक्स पेयर हैं, हम पैसा देते हैं तो ये चीजें बनती हैं, तो इसमें हमारा हक है इसके ऊपर. और इसमें जो भी है उस पर कार्रवाई जरूर होगी, एक्शन जरूर होगा, इसमें कोई इशू नहीं है कहीं भी और होना भी चाहिए. क्योंकि
Closing comments now, Dr. Raju Waghmare, go ahead.
Ma'am, I feel strongly the people who are responsible for these potholes are the contractors and the bureaucrats. These two people has to be get punished criminally on this kind of act. And unless and until if we don't put this example, it is not going to change anything. So that action must be taken. And I'm telling you that henceforth the contractor has to put 24/7 on the roads, especially in monsoon, with their team to, if any potholes created, that has to be packed. It has to be covered properly. 24/7 the team has to be there on the roads. So cover this. If unless and until if we don't do this, these pothole things are going to go back all the time. And the people who are there in this BMC and TMC like BJP and Shiv Sena, they have to change their contractor. They have to change their habit to earn the money through this black marketing and to do this kind of sins. If unless and until BJP change that, it will not change anything.
No, I'm sorry I'm saying this, but from whatever we have seen the BJP Shiv Sena government. Then we saw the MVA government. Now we are going to, of course, again see another combination of Shiv Sena and BJP. I think the DNA of the politicians remain the same. I haven't seen too much of a change, you know, in political intent with the change of governments. I'm willing to be proven wrong this time. But, you know, the fact of the matter is the lack of political intent. You heard Mr. Saurav Kumar say, see, the citizens have taken matters into their own hands. People like Saurav have decided we'll do it. We'll not even depend on the Sarkar anymore. We are working on technology, how to fix this because we have to save lives. We will pay taxes and we will fix our own roads. Is that how it should be? That is why, you know, the fact is it's a very sad day for us that a man should die like this in the CM's constituency. Closing comments. Go ahead, Varun Singh.
You know, thank you for people like Saurabh who are working. You know, it is very strange that many of these engineers go on, especially from IIT, go on to become IAS, but they do not work. But we have people like Saurabh who are working. And how bitter, I don't care how bitter it sounds to Mr. Waghmare, I want to remind him that since February, neither Thane Municipal Corporation, neither BMC, the Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation, has a mayor. They have IAS officers as administrators because the elections has been postponed and the MVA decided to postpone it. Who was the minister till last week? Who were the rulers till last week? And I'm very happy that Mr. Aarti has actually at least said that, if there is a wrong, and obviously there is a wrong, and they will try to mend it and correct it. But, political blame game can go on, and that is what we, sort of have started as a common man expecting from these peoples. But I also hope that these IAS officers, these IPS officers, on whom, koi IAS ban jata hai, gali mein bhi, to people are like, mere gali ka banda has become a collector, my gali ka banda has become an IAS. We have stopped holding them accountable. Hope the current government holds them accountable. Their numbers should be published. Their numbers, as a journalist, we have dared to do that in the past, not now. All the officials of those areas, their numbers should be published on the road, at the start of the road, in material which department it is, so that these people can be held accountable. Jis tarike se aap ek nagar sevak, ek corporator ko call karte ho, these people should be also, who are public servants, these people also should get those calls, and they should be made accountable for the life of the common man. There will be no accountability.
At the moment, there are no corporators. Who do you seek accountability? And Saurav rightly pointed out, the person who has been booked is the bus driver. Just some optics, something is being done. That's all. And in fact, he should be the last person to be blamed for this.
Absolutely.
Because again, as somebody who drives on these roads, I know how it can be. I know precisely how that moment can be. If somebody comes in front of you, completely caught unawares, an accident can happen. And what have you done? You have booked the bus driver for rash and negligent driving under Motor Vehicles Act. Done and dusted. Is that how it should be? Okay, Saurav Kumar, last word to you. Please go ahead.
See, I would, reiterate that let's not always blame the monsoon and the rain. The rain will come again and again every year. If we are really focused on solving the problem, let's stick to better technology, advanced technology that can save lives in our country. I think India shouldn't be the top, holding the top position, the number of accidents that happens across the world in terms of road accidents. We have to go down the ladder, and it can only happen when we have, we intend to upgrade the infrastructure, and that can happen only when we have the intent to adopt new technology as well. By the way, the monsoon and, the road repair, again, I will reiterate, we currently have the largest infrastructure of fixing potholes in the entire country, even during monsoon. So if people are willing, if, authorities are willing, we are willing to solve the problem in any city across the country. So that's something from my, my side. Closing statement.
Yes, very well said. There is infrastructure, there is technology, there are funds. BMC is lush with funds. What is lacking is actually the political intent, isn't it? I leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining us. Aarti Sathe, Varun Singh, Saurav Kumar, Raj Punj and Dr. Raju Waghmare. Thanks very much for joining us. Let's take a short break here. News and updates continue. On the other side, stay with the Urban Debate.